Welcome to the first ever episode of Loser of the Week. Who are we having this week, Ben?
We got the owner of Suck One D's Nuts, Nate Ramsey.
Nate Ramsey, a.k.a. Nate Rams, a.k.a. Volca Boy, a.k.a. Hitler Youth Wannabe. Let's get started with this.
All right.
Want to be fucking 12-year-old, 6'2", 12-year-old. All right, let's get started with his draft. Let's break down his draft. Since this is a fantasy podcast, I'm going to try to keep it to only roasting his fantasy team. This is Suquandi's Nuts, the 6'2", 12-year-old. You never knew Nate at this point. What do you have to think about that picture of Nate?
Let me go back.
Yeah, sure.
Man, it's just knowing Nate now and not knowing him then, this just seems like the most picture-perfect image that Nate could ever present of himself.
Why do you
Shoving a
think we
bunch of
call him
fucking
Volca Boy?
Look at that bowl cut.
Yeah. It all makes sense now. I've never seen that picture or Nate with the bowl cut. So yeah, it all makes sense. And
You
it's
have
also
seen
very,
Nate with that much stuff in his mouth.
yeah, it's very very fitting that he would shove 100 sticks in his mouth at once.
He enjoyed it a lot. All right, let's get started with his draft.
Okay.
Okay, I want everyone to stay focused on his first 5 picks right now. We're going to go one by one and note how none of them are on his current roster. You have Austin Eckler, who he traded in a horrible trade. I have him as the rest of season RB2, the second best running back for the rest of the season. Traded.
That makes no sense to me. I mean,
But
he's gonna get
does this make sense? Tyreek Hill. He's been the top 5 receiver so far, rest of season ranking wide receiver 3. Guess what happened to him?
he got traded.
He got traded. Okay, that's great.
I'm not even sure what he got traded for anymore.
I don't either. It had to have been pennies because he's on my team now, and I didn't get him off an 8. All right, James Conner. Guess what, Bingham?
Yeah, he's not there anymore.
He's not there anymore either.
I know we're gonna go through his team, but just looking at his team, I can't wait to go through the draft order.
This guy did. So far, we're at number 3, and none of them are on his team so far. Number 4, Juju Smith-Schuster. Zane.
Yeah, Juju. That was a very interesting pick. I have comments about 4 and 5, 5 especially, but 4 was a very interesting pick considering who was left on the board, and he's basically got rid of him for nothing because he hates him.
He should have cut him way sooner. He drafted him in the fourth round, and he got cut by week 5. Holy, that's just bad managing. He went to the Jerry Jones School of being a GM, I guess. Dalton Schultz, who he drafted before Darren Waller.
I believe I took Darren Waller about 5 picks later.
Yeah. Great pickup by Nate, man. He drafted him knowing Darren Waller was going to get hurt. Happened that Schultz got hurt too, and guess what? Not on his team anymore. So all out of his first 5 picks, none of them are left on his team.
Yeah, it's got to be something that hurts him a lot now. But whenever you're a shitty drafter, that stuff's gonna happen to you.
It's actually a decently drafted team. I don't know why he just traded every good player he had away or cut them.
I have problems.
If he would have stuck with his top 3 people,
4 and 5.
4 and 5 are just terrible picks. We can get to number 6 also. Number 6. I'm going to save some Joe Burrow jokes because he's still on the team for the next when we get to breaking down his actual team. But holy shit, Joe Burrow. He was the 6th quarterback taken ahead of some standout quarterbacks.
Tom Brady.
Yeah, he's really been standing out. No, I don't get it at all. I love being able to see this because this just reaffirms everything I've thought about Nate so far this season, that he doesn't know what the hell he's doing.
No, he doesn't. He is completely tilting his team. Speaking of tilting, Hunter Renfrow up to his 7th round pick, and he's cut or traded also. So out of his first 7, he only has one of the players on his team still. That's not a recipe for success.
I wish I had. I'm at a loss of words now at this point. Just seeing this, 7 or 6 of his first 7 picks are not on his team anymore. I don't even know what to describe that as.
If I had more time, I would have broken down who he traded for, because looking at his team now, none of them are. I don't know how he got rid of these people. Whoever sniped these people off and got gold for pennies.
I think that'd be interesting for us to do is go back somehow and pull those trades.
I don't want to see it. It would just make me mad at this point. It's just horrible managing. George Pickens, he also cut. Ramondre Stevenson, OU homer. Who could have guessed he had him?
Yeah, I mean, I think Ramondre and George Pickens are good picks at those spots he got him at.
Yeah.
Not sure why he gave up on Pickens so early. He had to have known that Trubisky wasn't going to be the starter the whole year. And now that it's Kenny Pickett in there, he's throwing the ball down the field. George Pickens, he said it. He's always open.
Getting completions. He is always open.
George Pickens said he's always open. It's looking like that so far.
The Pickens-Pickett connection is good so far.
Not on his team anymore, which is just in. I mean, I don't even know. It's incredible.
I also believe he straight up cut him and didn't trade him for anything, and now he's trade capital.
Yeah, he released him like after week 2, which is just mind-boggling.
That's a great work by Nate. Come on. All right, the rest of the people. Do you want to go by and break down all of them because most of them are a piece of shit?
Yeah, I mean, you got Tyler Boyd. Honestly, not a bad pickup in the 10th. Tyler Higbee. He's not going to be good because of his quarterback, and they have Cooper Kupp on that team. Devontae Parker. The New England didn't throw the ball. They run the ball, and they have like 8 receivers that they play. So horrible pick. Shouldn't have been drafted at all. Rashad White. I don't know who the fuck that is. So I
believe he's Tampa Bay's backup running back because they have a very strong run game.
Yeah, well, it's all Leonard. It's all playoff Lenny for them. Never even heard of Rashad White. So nice pick, Nate. That's terrible.
Maybe he knows something we don't, but he's not on his team anymore. So
I don't think so.
I don't think he knows anything, to be honest. Baltimore defense. Maybe at the time.
Week 1, that's an okay pickup.
At the time, good pick. Their defense has been atrocious all year.
I just saw who his kicker was.
Yeah, and then
Matt Amendola season.
Oh, unfortunately, is hurt, and yeah, Matt Prater, good kicker though.
Yeah, he's a good kicker when he's healthy, but God, he needs to get rid of him.
It also doesn't help that the Cardinals' offense can't do jack shit in the first half, so he's kind of missing out on points in the first half. But
definitely,
yeah, God, looking at this whole team, the drafted team.
The drafted team isn't bad.
No, it's not bad.
It's not bad, but holy shit, it's an abomination how he managed the team.
Yeah, he has like maybe 2-3 players left from his drafted team actually still on his roster, and it doesn't happen until his quarterback and Ramondre Stevenson, who was an RB2 at the time. He's an RB1 now.
I just can't. I don't want to move on from pick 13, Rashad White. I really want to go back to draft day and just go inside of Nate's brain. What in the hell was he thinking picking this guy? There's no way Nate knew who he was.
No, Zane, did you know who he was?
No, I didn't. I think, that's an interesting. There's a lot of interesting picks that kind of stick out to me. I think pick 2, before the draft even started, Nate had told me who he was picking. I mean, he had the 2nd overall pick, and Eckler
you want to guess how many points?
Very interesting.
Rashad White has
5.
He has 21 points, but the majority of them came against Kansas City.
Oh, yeah.
Wow. It is. I do believe. Yeah. He's complete shit. Okay.
Whose team is he on now? He's on
Xavier Baby. Yeah, he's on Pickens' team.
Oh, interesting.
I believe he's right. Another shit team. He goes from shit team to shit team.
Can you even call Rashad White good depth at running back? I mean, he gets no action.
No,
he gets no action. Yeah, no. We touched on Nate's trade on our Tuesday episode.
Yeah.
That involved Austin Eckler going to Xavier Baby. I don't know if we'll ever be able to understand that. I think that's going to hurt Nate so much going forward, as we already talked about. But yeah, he has not managed his team well. Let's see where his team's at now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. This is just funny looking at this. Any first impressions, Austin Bingham?
Yeah, his wide receiver room is dog shit. I mean, Devin Duvernay is your wide receiver 2 right now, and he's the definition, I think, of a boomer bust candidate every week. If he gets a long touchdown, then he does good. But other than that, he doesn't get enough targets or receptions to warrant being a wide receiver 2 on anyone's team.
I think whenever what Devontae Adams is back, he is going to slot in. He's going to slide wide receiver 1. Amari Cooper is going to be wide receiver 2. Not surprising because he is a Cowboys homer and a wannabe Browns fan. So that's why Nate has Amari Cooper.
Yeah, I think Nate misses Amari a little bit. Obviously, Devontae Adams, he's going to be out probably the next 2 weeks.
I think he traded for him thinking they were still with Aaron Rodgers. But now he has Derek Carr as his quarterback. He's just not doing anything.
Yeah, he's got Derek Carr throwing him the ball who can't really stay consistent. He's got, looking at his bench, love him having he made a trade for Ezekiel Elliott. I know Devontae Adams is on a bye, but the 2 players he traded for whenever he gave up 2 of his best players aren't starting for
him. No. Not a great trade.
He got
Zeke. The only thing Zeke is eating right now is the fucking turf. He's averaging 3.8 yards a carry right now. 41st in the NFL as an RB1 on the Cowboys.
Yeah, I mean, it's
Captain Fat Belly.
It's just demoralizing. I honestly, you know what? I know we're supposed to roast Nate. We're just going to continue to, but I honestly feel bad for him at this point. His team blows, and he doesn't know how to manage a team. It's quite embarrassing.
The only player he's stuck with consistently is Joe Burrow.
And Barkley. Wait, did he trade for Barkley? Or he didn't draft Barkley.
He traded
for Barkley.
That's right.
That may have been a Tyreek trade.
It had to have been. The only reason why he's keeping Joe Burrow on his team, not trading him, is he's the only person that looks more racist than Nate.
Yeah, that's a good point. They definitely might be up there for 1 and 2 of most racist people on the earth right now.
You just look at him and it screams Hitler Youth.
Yes. It's funny that he doesn't even have a quarterback on his bench. Like, he has no other option. And Joe Burrow has been so not good this year, fantasy-wise. So
exactly.
And he's going against New Orleans this weekend. Man, oh gosh, I don't even know what else to say about his team. It's terrible. His team's just terrible, and it's because he can't manage a team.
Every week, every trade he does, his team gets worse. It's supposed to be the other way around, but I don't think he knows a thing at all about trading.
No, not at all.
I feel bad for the kid. He's sitting in 6th place right now, so I can't see him climbing the ranking at all.
No, he'll plummet. This team's terrible. He'll shoot way down the board.
Yeah. Saquon, he needs to fucking unload Saquon now while he still is worth something. Get a good player out of him back. Maybe try to get Austin Eckler back from Braden.
Yeah. Good luck with that, Nate. You lost him.
He's gone forever. You fucked yourself, buddy.
Yeah. I think the only good thing he has going for him is his running back room, obviously. Ramondre's the RB1 now. Barkley's been looking like the Barkley of old. Other than that, his team looks terrible.
His running back room is pretty impressive.
He has a strong running back.
I question all his other moves, but
except his RB3. Who is his 3rd best running back? Is it JK or Zeke? Zeke is putting 5 points a week.
Yeah, and JK just got back from injury. I know JK had a big week last week. That's all he's done all season, really, so far. But no, yeah, it's terrible. This team sucks.
And he's put in Evan Ingram at tight end. Had Dalton Schultz, but he is just falling apart. Every position he's falling apart.
Evan Ingram is not a good option. I haven't heard his name once this season so far.
I don't watch any Jacksonville games because they're boring as hell, but
yeah,
maybe he knows something.
He doesn't know shit. Let's be honest.
No. All right, Zane, do you have anything to say about Nate's team?
No, I don't. Actually, kind of looking at his team there, it's actually more impressive what his team was compared to what I thought it was, talking about all the trades. I have to give him a little bit of credit. His team looks better than I thought it was going to. But I question all the moves.
Nice.
Yeah. I think the biggest question marks was just the draft night for me. I mean, the trades have been bad, obviously, but like I said earlier, I don't I don't understand the pick number 2 at Eckler. That didn't make sense to me from the very beginning.
You didn't like the Eckler pick?
No, I did not like the Eckler pick.
Who would have you taken it to?
There was a lot of guys left. I don't who was
There's
one.
almost everyone
Who was
besides
one. Jared had
Jonathan
one.
Taylor.
Jonathan
Jonathan
Taylor.
Taylor was one. I mean, you could have took CMC. Henry has had a kind of a down year, but I
CMC had a really
probably would have
successful
went after
year.
Cup or Jefferson.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, I don't know. It's interesting because I don't think anyone knew if Cooper Kupp was going to get the volume again this year that he got last year, and he's getting more somehow.
Yeah.
But I think for me, just a couple of my closing thoughts on Nate's team. His pick around 4 for getting Juju, and in round 5 getting Dawson Knox. Those might be the 2 worst back-to-back picks that high in the draft that I've ever seen. Well, I don't know what he thought of Juju going into the season, but man, it turned out bad for him. And then obviously the most telling thing to me about his team and the way he knows how to manage a team is that his big trade that was very lopsided last week, the 2, you could call them big name players, I guess, he got back, aren't starting on his team. They're not starting.
I think he has Zeke in timeout right now, is what he told me, which is an interesting move for fantasy because he doesn't give a shit about you, Nate.
Yeah, you put Zeke in timeout like they did on his contract holdout, he'll just go gain 40 more pounds in Cabo and be even slower and worse than he was.
Do you have any advice to give to Nate? You're sitting pretty high up in the league. Do you have any advice to give him?
Me or Zane?
Both of you. Both of you are doing better than me, so.
Well, I think for me, I pumped the brakes on the trades a little bit. I think I haven't made one trade this season so far. I'm sure there will be a point where I'll need to, but I think you got to feel your team out before you just blow everything up. And then him trying to blow everything up and get better made him so much worse. So
much worse.
I'm not really sure what he's thinking at all. I don't know if advice will help him. I think he's too dumb for it, to be honest.
He is going to listen to himself before he listens to any of us.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I agree with Bingham. I think the biggest thing is not making a trade early on. I haven't made very many trades this year, but I think he was kind of screwed from the start. We were talking about the beginning of the year who was the worst team in the league, and Nate was top on my list, along with a couple others, but he's going to stay down there for the rest of the year.
I didn't hate Nate's draft team. I think he had a lot of good pieces. I don't know where they all went. He traded all of them away, and his current team does not show for it at all.
I think he had good pieces, but I think he missed a lot of opportunities in the draft.
Yeah.
And that's probably what caused him to panic and blow everything up, and then it just hurt him even more. I mean, the only 2 picks I can really say were good value for where it was Ramondre Stevenson in round 8. That's a great pickup because now I think everyone knew he was going to at least split with Damien Harris. Now Damien Harris goes down and Ramondre's going to get the bulk. And George Pickens, who there's a lot of hype around, and even with Trubisky not doing anything really on offense, they were going to move on to Pickett at some point. And you knew that Pickett was going to force the ball down the field and give George Pickens some options. And Nate didn't even get anything out of him. He just dropped him. So terrible move by him. But yeah, I have nothing else to say about his team. It's terrible. He's going to plummet. He'll probably finish bottom 3, if not last. And I don't like anything about his team now.
I don't like anything about his team or like anything about Nate. He started with Austin Eckler, traded him. Tyreek Hill traded him. Those 2 are top 5 in as flex RB wide receiver, and he would have had solid points for. I think he could be 4-1 if he didn't make the trades he did.
Yeah, I mean, Tyreek is just so. He's going to get a lot of volume, and he's also going to get a lot of big plays for you. So
yeah,
interesting that he moved on from him so quickly. And then Eckler. I mean, he was slow to start the season, but the last 2 weeks he's gotten involved in the pass game and in the run game. So it's just incredible what he's done with his 2 best players that he got.
Great work to the people who stole those people from me.
Yeah. Braden, you swindled the shit out of him. I have so
Yes.
much respect for you. Not sure how you did it. Commissioner, we might need to look into that. Maybe Nate got paid by Braden
To
That
throw.
could be
make
it.
that trade because
Throwing.
it was so bad. I think we need to look into that.
Yeah,
There were throwing allegations. Nate said he wouldn't do the league punishment if he lost.
yeah, Nate's
there
been
could be
against it
throwing
all season.
allegations.
So we'll have to look at that when it gets later in the season, see how
Yeah.
things develop.
I think we should have our beat writer Carson touch up and do some interviews and
Yeah.
look into these allegations.
Yeah, I agree.
Yes.
Carson, if you're watching this, get on that, please.
I am looking forward to the follow-up that Carson will provide. I think this will actually become a big story. I think that is my new story I'm going to run with. Nate is throwing, and that's why
that makes sense.
That's the only thing that makes sense to me about this trade now. Nate's throwing, and
Has to be.
he's just going to go to Olive Garden with a blow-up sex doll and have a meal with it, or he might not even do it.
Hey, I could see him just not doing it.
Yeah, there's been a lot of people who won't do that punishment. That's another story. But yeah,
Cowards.
Nate, you're terrible as a person and as a fantasy manager.
Yep.
You suck at everything, and I would say I wish you luck, but there's no point.
Luck, you're far past needing luck, Nate. You need some Jesus right now.
Yes, 100%.
Awesome. Zane, any closing comments?
Based on everything we just talked about, I would say Nate is my pick to lose the league. I mean, I kind of talked about it earlier at the beginning of the season, but as of right now, Nate's my pick to lose the league based on all of his previous transactions.
We're also only 6 weeks in. What more trades can Nate do to fuck his team over?
A lot.
I'm excited to see. We might have loser of the week Nate next week too. So
yeah,
this might just keep on.
It might be a Nate episode every week. I think by the time we get to the end of the season, his trades are going to be so bad that he'll have all backups starting for him.
Hit that or all Cowboys players, which is the same.
Yeah, pretty much.
All right. That was this week's episode of the loser of the week. Nate, what happened?